Here's another great question that I get a lot of times is how do I choose which keyboard to buy? Um, I don't have the answer to this because everybody's different. Everybody has different needs musically that they need to address. So I have some short suggestions that I'll give you. First off, what's the purpose of that keyboard? And when I say purpose, here's what I mean. Are you trying to learn how to play the piano, trying to learn how to play the keyboard? Are you trying to learn how to do synthesis? Okay. Are you trying to create music productions? Are you trying to integrate with the computer? So these are some of the questions you need to ask yourself when you're looking at a keyboard. What's the purpose? Okay. And then also know these kind of answers to these questions when you go to the store, to your music store, and talk to your local music salesperson, and that'll help you to find that particular piece of gear that you need. The next question is, what types of sounds do you require? Everybody has different types. I have my meat and potato sounds, like my pianos, my organs, my strings. I love to have synth pads, synth strings, some different kinds of sounds like that. So that's what I mean by that. If you're primarily a piano player, well, then maybe we need to get some type of slab piano. If you're an organist at a church, well, maybe one of the organs might be good. Or you're gigging out and you need to have electric pianos and pianos. Once again, maybe a slab piano. Maybe you don't care about piano or organ. You want to do synth music. You want to do dubstep. You want to do EDM. Well, maybe you need some type of synthesizer, and there's a lot of them out there. What if you're trying to go ahead and have just a large palette of sounds? Well, once again, look at what type of sounds do you want. And this is also going to narrow which type of keyboard. So determine whether you need piano, organ, strings, synth sounds, whatever. That'll also go ahead and start shaping where you need to go. The next question I would ask, and make sure you know the answer to this one, is what functions do you require of that instrument? When I say functions, I might mean, does it need to sample? Does it need, and sampling, once again, is when we take an audio picture, we record a piece of a sound, maybe a voice, an instrument, whatever, and we want to access it through the keybed of that keyboard. So do we need a sampler? Do we want it to create tracks or beats? Figure that out, okay? Does it need to interact with the computer? Does it need to go ahead and throw files from the keyboard to the computer? So do you need it to use with the computer to write some of the notation software that's out there? So that's another thing. Go ahead and list that out. So next, your keyboard experience. Is this your first time playing? Are you a pro? Do you do a lot of gigs? Okay. That will also help you, and then also help the person that's trying to help you. Okay. So these are questions that I ask. And then the last one is a tough one, I know, for salespeople to ask you, but it's one that we have to address, is what is your true budget? Okay. I know years ago, there was a keyboard that I wanted. It was a workstation, and I really wanted this workstation, okay? But I couldn't afford the workstation at that time, so I got the one just below it, okay? And the one just below it was okay, it was by the same company, the same brand, but it wasn't the one I wanted, okay? So it was just a little bit out of my budget, but at that time, I was in college and I was gigging a lot, and if I just would have waited a little bit more or saved up, I could have got the one that I had really wanted, and that would have been really cool, So what did I end up doing? I ended up getting the one that I wanted later, but now I had to get rid of this other one when I probably should have just saved a little bit. So just know these couple things. One, what's the purpose of the keyboard? What type of sounds do you require? What functions do you require? What's your keyboard experience? And then also, finally, what's your budget? And that's always a tough one because sometimes people think, well, they're trying to bump me up or take me to something that I can't afford. Well, you have things like the internet and all that. You can go ahead and do your research and have a pretty clean cut. I know when I buy keyboards or some of the people that I trust out there, I already have these different things in mind, and this helps my buying decision, my purchase decision, that much easier. All right? So I hope this helps you. Take care.